What up, YouTube? Alright, right now I'm going to show you basically how to draw a wolf. This is my first colored pencil drawing and my first YouTube video. Since this is my first one, I'm not going to get into great details, but subscribe now and you'll get tutorials. Alright, for this, I don't have any drawing colored pencils with me. Well, normally people would say to use Prismacolor. I don't really know how to pronounce that, but I'm just using Crayola. And if my voice sounds a little stingy, it's because I'm in the 6th grade. Yeah, I haven't hit puberty, so don't make fun of my voice. I'm using a 8x8 cardstock paper, and let's get to the tutorial. Alright, I'm basically using these 3 colors, white, black, and brown, but it doesn't really matter. I'm drawing more a gray wolf, but you can see I kind of made it a little too dark, so I'm going to light it up with the white. And I think it's kind of hard talking while drawing, so if you don't hear me talking a whole lot, that's why. Alright, so I'm just lighting up what I already done. Like, there's really no certain way on how to make fur. You don't really even, like, all you do is just scribble like this. That's really all you do for fur, so I'm just going to light this up, make it look a little realistic. Sorry if the camera's shaking and it's not directly on it. I have the most ghetto camera system ever. It's on my school books. But, alright. On the camera it looks pretty dark, but it's actually not that dark. Right now it looks more like an Arctic wolf on the thing. So I guess it's just a glare from my light. So I'm just going to touch those up right here. And if you hear noise in the background, it's because my mom just got home. So don't comment bad on that. I'll try to block it out. So you can kind of see I'm just touching up the areas. Oh, and by the way, this wolf is going to have a body. A lot of people ask me at school if it's just going to have a head. It's going to have a body. I actually just started drawing. And a lot of people will probably ask me if I've been to art school. No. Most of the techniques I know, I learned it from YouTube. Besides the coloring pencil. So, to get on with the point, I'm going to make this darker. Even if you're looking off a picture, I'm not looking off a picture, but even if you're looking at a picture, or else if you want it to look exactly alike, you don't need to make the colors all the same, because every wolf is different. So, I'm going to get a shade of brown. Almost a shade. It's like, this is light brown. So, then I'm going to top it off with dark brown. Oh, sorry guys again if the picture gives off, because it's kind of hard. I'm drawing far away. Alright, so I'm going to touch it up. I think I got a little bit too much brown there, so I'm going to touch it up. So, let's see if you can see this. Right there, that's what I just done. So, I kind of made it look like fur with the light colors. Oh, but a really big tip is, when you go to do colors, try to use your lighter colors first. Once I do black and white drawings, I've been doing that for a long time. I just started color pencil drawing, but black and white drawings, you just want to, like, I normally go lightest to dark, but sometimes with charcoal, I'll just skip to the darks. But it's basically the technique for how I use it for the fur. And if there's any specific thing you want me to draw besides people, like I can draw people in black and white, but anything in color pencil that you would like me to draw, like an animal, just tell me and I'll try to find a picture of it on the internet. So let's see how this looks. It's actually fairly quick. I thought once I first started it would be a lot longer than black and white, but it's actually this picture so far for the face has only been 30 minutes longer than it normally would. So to make it kind of look a little realistic, you can put some black spots in it, like fur. Like that. And if you're wondering why this side right there is so dark, is because it's more of a shadow, but I put a little too much down, so it kind of made it a little dark. But they're kind of hard, but it's alright. Every wolf is different. It might have a deformed fur hair. But, so, that goes for the face. I'm going to get some more brown in here. Sorry if my head pops in here. I don't think it will. But every time you start a new color, like a brown or a white, like your next color you always want it to start it into the other color. So then, I don't have one, but a colorless blender, I'm going to get one, but I can't wait until I do. But a colorless blender, it will blend it really good if you mix them together. And the different types of pressures you put on your hand, the more it will blend together. So, I'm not really getting into great detail. Sorry that I didn't show you how to do this from the beginning, but my tutorials, I'll show you how. I make a new picture every week, but don't get mad at me if I can't put a YouTube video up a week, because it's kind of difficult. I got a lot of homework this year. And I hate math. I mean, I like school. It's just I hate math. Everything other about school I like. And I'll be looking forward to go to college. But I know people, there's no one else in our family can draw, but friends that I'm really close to that can't really draw, his sister got a scholarship for drawing. I might try, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. So, looking like that. So since that face right there is really dark and I like this side better, I'm just going to try to rather go ahead and make that. Try to make it lighter, which that's going to be hard, or make that darker. First I'm going to try to make it lighter because I like that side. And you can put like white tips on their fur and it looks pretty cool. It looks really cool like that. So, but don't comment bad. This is my first color pencil drawing. This is my first one. I'm not even looking off of a picture, so please don't comment bad. And then maybe if you want at the bottom, you can even put a little bit of specks right there. Oh, I thought about this on the nose. Here, I'm going to zoom in for you guys. But for the nose, right here, you just put down a layer of black about the layer that you want it. And then you take your white and just poke it. It gives it a 3D look and it gives it a good bumpy look. So there. My camera's about out of time, so. Alright. For this part, I'm gonna just draw the body shape because you can't really see it. And I forgot to mention in your supplies to get a good set of pencils. These are my black and white pencils I use, but it doesn't really matter. Alright, let me fix my camera. Watch what I do for the body, how I go from the white, because if you want something really white, which I don't really want it, so I don't have to do white, but if you want something really white, you should put that down first. Well, at least you should if you're using Crayola like me. But since I don't really need to, I'm going to get a light shade of brown. And I made arrows, right? I made like an arrow shape right there to let me know where I want my colors to be. So I'm going to kind of like cross-hatching. It's kind of like cross-hatching, like once you're drawing, but I'm not going to be doing the other cross. And occasionally you'll probably see me do cross-hatching, but I'm not going to really stick to it. Let's talk about the paper. I think you should, I think cardstock is really good paper. I mean, that's my opinion to use, but use whatever you want, but one color I say not to use, or else if the drawing you have has absolutely no white, which almost every drawing does because highlights, and you really want to get those highlights in, but you want to pick a different color. And I'm doing brown because I'm going to have like a tree in the background that's going to be zoomed up. Kind of hard to explain, but that's why I picked brown to match my background. And it sounds like my mom's home, so if you hear someone, I'm going to try to shut off the camera. So, there, I got that. I'm going to try to fix it up with some white some more. She says she's going to get me McDonald's. I want some McDonald's. So, see how I'm just scribbling? You're probably like, why aren't you taking your time for this part? Well, actually, any of the part, you don't really necessarily need to take your time on the fur because it's in every which way. There's probably like 5 billion hairs right there, so I don't think you'd really want to try to get that many hairs in and make it look really realistic. It'll look realistic either way. So it's getting darker over here, so I'm going to make it darker. Press down a little harder. I'm doing cross hatching right there. And have it come in. And have it fade out. Every detail you see on the picture, even though I'm not going off of one, that might, like some ways it might look, oh sorry, I went dark from right there and went out. Sorry that you couldn't see that. Sorry YouTube. But, but if it looks a little crummy in ways, it's just because I didn't look off of a picture. But I think it looks alright for my first one. Not the greatest. So, can you kind of see that? Oh, there's a really bad glare. I just glanced up at the camera. That eye right there, it doesn't look, there's actually not like snow on it, see? It was just a really bad glare. But now I'm trying to get the long hairs in, and you don't want these to be even. That's what a lot of people, and I even had trouble with at the beginning until I learned how to. If you make them all even, it's not going to look realistic like you want it to. And you want to go over the lines to try to cover them up. Because if you make it look, stop at a certain point, then someone's going to know it's up. And also use your hair, your colors and darkness to determine how the picture is going in. But you can also gently color it over with white to make it look a little lighter. But you might want to watch out how you're using it, because if you move it a little hard in the wrong way, it'll look like I had this problem. It'll look like a messed up, a jacked up hair it has an infected hair, and you don't want that. Or else if you want it to. I mean, that's perfectly fine if you want it to. But, so, I have the body. So, I'm just going to make these hairs a little bit longer than normal, because I can always just go back and fix this. This is the easy part. I'm trying to keep each segment under 10 minutes because my editor I use doesn't really like having long videos in it. And it takes like literally a whole day for it to upload. So, I got my hairs down. And now you're probably thinking I just ruined it. Well, I can fix that. So, I'm going to take my other shade of brown and go over it a little and come up with some hairs right here. But don't put too many. Like, try to keep some in between to fill up that brown gap and curve them over to be on it like that. So, it looks realistic. That's my opinion. And you can put little dots too, say if one was longer than the other. But that's how to do that. And it might really help me if I had a blender, which I don't really need one on this one, but it would really help. So right here I'm just going to go with my darks and color on the line. I like coloring on the lines. It'll make it look a little bit fatter. But Modern Warfare 3 just came out today. I'm not really into, I like playing video games, but it's not like my life, so I'm probably not going to get it. Well, I'll get it, but later on. I especially don't like getting games when everyone talks about them, like that's all they talk about. and it's really annoying. It's like really annoying. So I'm going to make this a little bit darker right through here. Or not darker, thicker, I should say. Sorry about my pronunciation. My grammar's a little off. But I have that line of brown right there. I mean black. I need to go back to kindergarten. But that's going to be my shadow line right there from a tree maybe. Well, it just depends what I want. And then I'm going to get my white and come in onto the black. Just start at different places. It doesn't really matter. You can even put some whites in the blacks right there. And that sounds a little racist. Whites and blacks. But I'm not racist. Everyone should have their own rights. Someone, I don't know whose horn that was, but you should start seeing a little connection between them. So now I'm going to try to fill this over with some, make this darker. The one thing it is kind of bad about this type of color paper, cardstock paper, that's my word, is it takes so many layers of black to make it dark. And so I'm just going to go over and lighten up, go actually into the brown, get that shade I want. So get the shade. So I'm really just coloring over it. And I'm going to keep on doing this, but make it light, not too dark, because I'm going to try to fill up those holes. But you want to leave some in to where it looks like that. You want to leave some in, and you can fill it up with white to make it look like that. Alright, basically what I did was, when I cut it off the camera, was I made this a little fat so it didn't look like a straight line. And I shaded on my pencil sharpener. See, you can tell I'm not using anything fancy. I'm just using a handheld. It doesn't even have a holder for it. But I've made this dark. I haven't really gotten to the shading process yet. I just got into the fur. I just got really into the fur and some whites. But now, with my gray, I'm going to come in, but look where my pencil placement is. This is a gray. It's in the black. So now I'm going in, even into the whites. I have it there. So now it made that color. I'm going to add some to the brown. And I guess you could say this is the shading point. Once you really shade, I'm just going to call this a shading point. But really when you shade, it will, like with colored pencils, you would have the colorless blender. So, I'm going to make this white, go around here, come out some furs. So, there I have my fur coming out, which I'm going to make some more go right there so it doesn't look so lonely. I don't sound like it, but like I was thinking in my head once I said lonely, I was thinking of that. I forgot it. I done forgot his name. He was on TV. He may still be on there. He's like that painter with the afro. That just reminded me of him. Everything's so lonely, so he has to make him a best friend. A happy little tree. Best friend. I like watching that show. Oh, that's my point. I don't know if you can see it or not. You probably can't see it. But that dark spot right there, I just pressed down way too hard with my gray. So now it looks like a lonely gray hair. So now I had to fix that. You can't really see it on the thing, but it's pretty bad on my paper. I guess from the glare. But I'm not, you guys are looking at it from straight down. I'm looking at it to the side. So, but like you see how it looked cross-hatched right there? That's what I mean by the white, and don't overdo it. Because I just kind of overdone it with the white. And it looked cross-hatched. You don't want that look. That's the last look you want, is a cross-hatched look. So I guess put some more to fix that. I'm just guessing. Put some white down and go back over it the right way. And now once I make it lighter, I'm not going over that way. Always go the way of your fur if you want to make it lighter. Kind of fixed it a little. It's kind of noticeable, but not too bad. I actually, starting out now, I kind of like this darker side more, so I'm going to make this other side more black, because I like the other side better. So I'm going to color this in. It's not going to look as black as that side, because there's more shadow to it for it. One thing I really like about fur is something you can do, and not with like humans with colored pencil, is you're pretty much scribbling in colored pencils and stuff. You're practically just scribbling, and that's what I really like about it. Colored pencils. That's why it doesn't really take as much time. Once I first started, I thought it would take forever. But so we have that side down, and I'm going to stop the video right now and use a restroom break. That felt good. Alright, back to the point. Right here, I'm looking on my, like on the paper, I think that's going to be its back. I don't really know. This video I'm going to stop it, but I might put another wolf right there. They're in love. They might be in love. But, so I'm going to color this in. Oh, I should say scribble that in. And make sure you know where those fur lines are. So you want to kind of make it light. Or you can make it dark, whichever way you want. I'm going to make it more on the dark side. And right there, to lighten it up, to make it this side look better, you can put white lines through it to make it look better. So that's how you do that. I think that might be like kind of difficult because you get it. I'm going to stop the video right here because my mom's home and she'll make a lot of noise. So I'll see you. Alright. So right here, I'm just starting to shade it down. There's going to be cast shadow. I hope you guys know, because I might get into the shadows in a different tutorial. But I'm just going to save some time, I'm just going to tell you. This is a cast shadow, casting off of something, another shadow. This is a shadow. So here's the cast shadow. I'm going to make it pretty dark right here. Oh, Alright, I'm not going to put a video on the shadows, but I might have a link in the description for a really good tutorial on YouTube teaching you about things. It was actually, I think it was called How to Draw Lips, but I'll show you. He explains really good on how to draw. Oh, crap. Alright, he explains really good how to draw lips and the shadows. It's really good. So, have time to check that out. So, I'm pretty much shading this. It looks kind of crummy so far, but that can always get fixed. So, I'm going to draw this, the brownish part. It's a normal brown. I'm drawing a normal brown. So, you kind of want your colored pencils sharp, really sharp if you want them dark, because personally, I think it gets darker by the sharper they are. Actually, that's not really personally. I found that out, I just noticed that it gets darker the sharper your colored pencils are. So, you're going to get that in. So now I'm going to layer it off with the other black. Layer over it. And I'm going to layer over it. I got it layered over. You probably see a glare. I don't know if you see a glare or not, but that's what it looks like. Kind of. It looks like it's missing something, right? So, that's what it should look like. Where the black is, where these are, where you put the black right in between there, you want it to be white. More white on the edge. So you want it to be more white where that is. And over here, that should be white, but right there you want like a line of black in between the hairs for the shadow. So, right there. This might take you a little bit of time. So, I'm gonna shut it off. And once I get done, I'll show you. Alright, I'm back. And I made the cast shadows. I'll show you here. So, I made the cast shadows, if you can see it. Right there. But, then, I just added a couple more hairs like we did on that side, right there. So, it's not really too difficult. I suspect you guys know how to do it, but, well, you should. If you got this far already, you should know how to make hair, but. So, I'm going to do the cross hatching now right here. Do mostly dark. Right through here. I think this is the hardest part on drawing. Black and white, this is the easiest part. This is the easiest part, but on colored pencil, I think this is kind of the hardest, my personal opinion. But I'm going to take a brown and draw some. So, if my head comes in here, it's because there's a glare, and I'm trying to see my paper better than I can see it right now. So, I'm going to make this a little bit darker just by coloring it in, a little bit on the black. So then, once I come down here, I'm going to get right on about where the edge line is, and just make some more hair. Make some more hair like that. Make a little bit of brown hair right there. And some of those little things that you put into detail, you might think no one's going to see those. And most of the time, people probably won't notice them. But if you didn't have them, your picture would look all messed up. So I hope I'm making sense. I know I probably talk a lot, which I'm trying to keep you guys entertained. If you don't like my voice, just mute me. It's a lot easier to mute me than comment bad. So, just go for the mute button. Oh, and if you can't make this, just because you can't make it, that doesn't mean you should comment bad on it. Just because you can't make it. I think that's stupid if you do. I think that's stupid. Take the time to comment just because you can't make it and it's going to be bad. Please don't do that. But see how I made that hair right there? Or in the hair right there, all that hair, you're going to do all that for right in here. I hope it doesn't take too long, but it shouldn't take too long. So, I'm going to stop it here, and I'll show you a picture when I'm done. Alright, I know I said that I was going to show you when I'm done. I found kind of a problem that you guys might be having trouble with while you're doing this. Is the fur. It's kind of difficult to get that in, so right here, I'm going to make it darker. And if you are having trouble, it's just to help you a little bit. So, this is just to help you a little bit. So, I'm working down. Oh, and I'm asking you guys for, at least for my first video, is like, subscribe, comment. I mean, I'll be happy if you just like or comment. I mean, subscribing, I would love for you to subscribe, but just like or comment, because every time someone likes it, or puts a good comment, it encourages me. Well, it will encourage me. It will encourage me to make more videos, more tutorials, and more things that people want, like comment. It would encourage me to make one of those. So that's why I would want you guys to like, favorite something, let everyone else know, or if you know someone that can draw or wanted to draw good, or if you just want to draw a picture for someone, look at my video. I might have some more up by the time you see this, because it'll probably take a long time before a lot of people start seeing this. But if you know anyone, then tell them to watch my videos. It might help them out. If it helped you out, it might help them out. Or just comment and say that it was good. I mean, I'm just in the 6th grade. I personally think I'm pretty good for a 6th grader. Really good. But I guess. So, please comment, like, or subscribe. It would help me out a lot. And I'm trying to get this, which this is one thing that I hate, is black. It won't go the darkness I want. So I'm going to shut it off and try to get it dark, because I can't really get it dark at an angle. So